Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Bitcoin price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis. We're gonna dive deeper with a Bitcoin chart here from the weekly all-time history until the 1 hour and 15-minute chart to see what happened and what it might happen next for Bitcoin. So basically on the all-time history, we would like to come back to see where are we. We have a wave 1 here with this impulse. After, of course, a cycle finished with a new all-time high, we got a correction and then another, of course, cycle finishing with a new all-time high as well. After 4 years, of course, we are getting every time a new all-time high. All of them are, of course, forming here an impulse toward the upside where you might have finished a wave 1 or a wave A. So basically you have a 1, 2, 3 wave 4 did not interfere with the zone 1, which is perfect for an impulse, and finally finishing, of course, as this impulse 5 waves with, of course, a new all-time high as well around the 70k, which was, of course, our last bull run. And of course, this year where we took, of course, a new high for Bitcoin is, of course, the current bull run, that it might not be finished yet and we might still have a little bit higher. And that because, of course, if we here connect all the all-time highs with a curve, you can see that this curve is still, of course, unfolding a potential of higher prices here until we close this gap, of course, between the price action, the current price action, and the curve. We still have a potential gap where the all-time high can still reach it, of course, and close it there for this 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, of course, impulse toward the upside. This wave 5 is kind of like a little bit extended wave 5. You have triple 1-2s. We're gonna see it, of course, on the daily. But before we go to this, let's, of course, discuss about the bearish scenarios also that it might unfold, of course, after this move toward the upside. So if we close, let's say we close this gap and we get finished here, an impulse toward the upside. Of course, we have two possibilities here. Now, you have a possibility where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your wave 5 has ended up exactly at this area here. And in this area, you are looking, therefore, I'm going to zoom in here. In this area where you have finished a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, your wave 5 can be done over there with double 1, 2. And you can have finished, of course, a wave 1 here in the orange scenario, and which it plays, of course, right now as a wave 2, kind of like an ABC expanding flat for a wave 2. Now this ABC, of course, needs somehow a wave B, which it should be looking like 3 waves toward the upside, closing this gap at the same time. Can be very possible, of course, as an A, B, and a C to finish, of course, a wave 2 here, which is the minimum requirement, of course, for wave 2 at the 0.38 here, I would say, not the 0.23. So basically, you would like to see the wave 2, diving a little bit much more inside this area to reach also potentially this strong support that we had before for Bitcoin, where we had, of course, a very long range here for Bitcoin as a wave 4 from the previous bull run, right? And that might play, of course, a very strong support here, and we might move toward the upside for wave 3 later on as a 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5 continuation toward the upside. So this scenario here is kind of like a corrective ABC that we are talking about. It's short-term bearish scenario for wave 2, and then simply continuation toward the upside. The second scenario is that you are still bullish here. You're still in a wave 5. You're still looking here at triple 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And this is the last wave 5 unfolding right now internally, where you have already here 1, 2, 3 inside this leg here internally. Of course, we're talking about the 2 hour chart. And you can see, of course, a wave 4 right now unfolding and potentially continuation toward the upside for this wave 5 to finish this impulse and finishing this bull run with a wave 1 and then 2 and then 3, 4, 5 continuation later on toward the upside. The difference is here that if you have a wave 1 finishing over there, you might start a new bearish scenario here, a new bear market from scratch. Yeah, because if we are in a bear market right now, we are in expanding flat, so you already finish wave B. Potentially once you take this high, you move for the wave C, and okay, we start a new bull run. But if this is a part of course, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as an impulse for a wave 5, therefore you have to consider that we are starting a new ABC towards the downside, of course, which we gonna get more answers about this inside, of course, which target we reach. Yeah. So if we overpass the targets of a wave B, which is maximum, I would say 126k. If we overshoot this number, therefore, we have to consider this is a wave 5, okay? Because the maximum that a wave B, maximum price that it can have is 126k. We're gonna see this inside it. So this is, of course, I would say the overview for the bullish and bearish scenario in the all-time history, and what we might face, of course, later on. Now, of course, that is something like very bearish, of course, ultimate bearish after having all this move toward the upside. The very bearish scenario, or the ultimate bearish scenario, is a simply A, B, and a C here. So what you are looking at, if you get one more leg toward the upside, you can consider this is like a zigzag, and you get another zigzag here, and you have an X, which is the most complicated, yeah, I would say level here, can be the bridge between those two zigzags as an X. And you have kind of like A, B, and you're looking for a wave C toward the downside. This is the ultimate bearish, guys. But of course, before breaking the 0.38, which it might play your wave 2 here as a 1, 2, and you have a very strong support. Before breaking this area, I cannot call, of course, this wave C. No way, right? So all above this area, of course, above the 0.38, above the 51k or 52k for Bitcoin, we cannot call, of course, an ultimate bearish scenario. We might be, of course, in a wave 2 and then moving simply toward the upside continuation for a new bull run. Okay, so let's move inside, of course, this daily channel right now for Bitcoin, where we are looking at the channeling again. Of course, we are right now in this bull run starting from the 15k, as you can see, the 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So I'm gonna reduce a little bit here the acceleration so we can see it better. So as you can see, the base channel taken from the wave 1 based on the wave 2. We got the wave 3 exiting, of course, this base channel as a signal that this is a wave 3 impulse, perfect. And then we start to range inside, of course, the middle line of this base channel, inside this blue corrective channel as well, and then breaking it as a signal that we have finished correction and we're moving toward the upside. A more confirmation that we're moving for a wave 5 is breaking the base channel again and entering the acceleration channel actually. And then of course you would like to see the wave 5 hitting almost around the middle line of this acceleration channel. So this bull run was playing perfectly normally. When the price exits the acceleration channel, it is a signal that this bull run is done, is finished, and that you might, of course, looking for a correction. Especially when you enter also the base channel again to the midline, can be, of course, possible that you might retrace and rebound toward the upside. In case you have several 1-2s here, potentially can a wave 4 still retrace, but this time the wave 5 will not enter exactly the acceleration channel, but it will only hit the lower line of it and therefore moving toward the downside. So if this will happen, of course, I would say this wave 5 can be extended therefore to this area. But if the price action will not leave this base channel or will not break it toward the upside and will still inside this base channel here ranging, this cannot be, of course, a part, this here cannot be a part of this bull run, guys. And we have to consider that this is your A, B, and a C that we are looking for as a little bear market here before the new bull run. Okay, so this is the difference, what we might have here based on the channeling, and what are the signals that we can get from it. Now, on the bullish scenario for the daily, as you can see, we have a triple 1-2s here. We have a 3, 4, 5, a 4, and a 5 for a wave 3, and this wave 4 is unfolding here. Now, of course, we have mentioned here that we have a corrective wave. It can be triangle, or it can be, of course, kind of like an ABC. The triangle is gone right now. We cannot call it triangle anymore, but what we can call is an ABC, very simple, and starting to move to the upside. As you can see here, A, B, and a C, the wave 4 has finished already there. So I'm gonna extend this A, and in the blue here, B and a C, somehow like that. And that will, of course, be the right scenario right now that we are looking at. And even I prefer to even call this a W, X, and a Y, honestly, because I see only 3 waves there. Okay, but that is only one situation that it might, of course, this correction extend, which is, of course, where you have a wave A here. As you can see, 5 waves down. Your wave B can be somehow like 3 waves toward the upside, and having one more wave C toward the downside, which is an extended wave 4 again, or a wave B. A wave B, of course, can be in a different scenario, but this is a wave 4 that we're talking about here, in case it extends much more time. But I believe that this is a little bit low possibility. We're gonna see what's going on inside it, but this scenario as a wave B here and a wave C can be, of course, be ready to move toward the upside in both case scenario. What I mean is, if you finish A, B, C here for a wave B in an expanding flat, meaning you're looking at A, B, and a C. So both case scenarios here are looking for higher. If you are in a bullish scenario, which is this one, as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, you're still looking also for higher. And that means in all case scenarios, we are still looking for higher, whether you are bullish or bearish, because this is very corrective. But bullish or bearish, meaning even if you are bearish, you're looking for a wave B, corrective wave, 3 waves towards the upside, you're still looking for higher, right? The only difference, again, the only difference, as we mentioned also on the weekly, is that the wave B can just reach only 126K as a maximum target for the 1.38 fib level, taken from the wave A here as a retracement. Of course, you might have a wave B over there. Reaching above this or overshooting the 126 will bring us directly to this scenario as, of course, a wave 5 here. And this target is taken, of course, from the main impulse down there, of course, where we have started a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Yeah. So as you can see, taken from the wave 1, 2 here in the yellow, based on the wave 3, giving us, of course, a 130K, I would say. And this is more than enough to tell us that this is a wave 5 here. And if this is a wave 5, meaning this belongs, of course, to this impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. What does it mean? Why I'm pushing so hard to bring this message to you guys lately? Because that means if you finish exactly here above the 126, which is only a wave B, that might be, of course, a new bear market unfolding toward the downside, A, B, and a C toward the downside, while the opposite scenario, where you are in a wave B, can be, of course, a finished almost A, B, and you still have only one wave C before a new bull run. So that is a huge difference, whether we are ready for a new bull run or not. Yeah, so because this bear market might be finished very soon and starting again, of course, to move toward the upside for new highs. While the other scenario will need even lower, yeah, and more time, definitely. Okay, so this is the difference and how to be ready for this scenario. Let's move inside the 2 hours chart for Bitcoin to see what's going on. Now, I have mentioned, of course, this scenario here yesterday, that we are a little bit in an issue here with this wave 3, but still okay on both case scenarios. Whether you are corrective here or whether you are impulsive, you're still looking for higher. You're still looking for at least 110K, I would say. Why 110K? Because if you are corrective, you have an ABC for W, you have the X already there, and you have an ABC zigzag for a wave Y. This zigzag wave Y would like to reach the 1-to-1 fib level, 110K, taken from the wave A to the B to the C. Yeah, so This is, I would say, a minimum target that it can be reached for a wave Y here. Because again, on the micro level, if you remember yesterday, and of course for the new viewers for this channel, let me show exactly what's going on. So basically, in this area where we are impulsive, the problem with this wave 3 toward the upside, after having a beautiful 1-2, by the way, ABC expanding flat, wave 2, you move for a wave 3 toward the upside. That's great, right? The problem is here that you have a 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5. You cannot count this as an impulse. It's not allowed that the wave 3 is shorter than the wave 1 and the wave 5. Therefore, there is an issue here. And we have to consider this as a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, meaning finishing wave 3 here in the white as a 1, 2, 3. And then having a very long wave 4 right now unfolding. And currently, we're looking, of course, at something continue to the upside as 1, 2, 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. We're going to come to this area. But basically, this is your wave 4 in the white scenario. Your wave 2 is very shallow and very flat, I would say, and of course very, very small in time. But your wave 4 is very long in time, and yeah, it somehow doesn't reflect and doesn't alternate so nicely a wave 2, and therefore it starts also to add much more, yeah, question marks if this is an impulse or it is in a corrective wave. So basically, therefore, you have to always consider a W, X, and a Y here, where the wave Y can unfold somehow as a zigzag, okay? And then we take it from there, of course. If you are impulsive here and you would like to see continuation toward the upside, we would like to see, of course, here kind of like ABC to finish a wave 3. If you are impulsive, you would like to see another 4, 5. So we get 3 waves down, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a wave 5. Therefore, I can say, okay, that's nice. We got a wave 1. Let's work on the wave 2. And then simply continuation toward the upside. So this is how it works, guys, between those two different scenarios. If we are corrective, we're gonna just simply stop there, moving down. If we are impulsive, we're gonna have 4, 5. That's it. Yeah, so basically those are the possibilities right now for a Bitcoin. Let's watch and see what's gonna happen. I believe we still need to move toward the upside in both case scenario for the Y or for the wave 3 here. Yeah, so in case we are in wave 3. We're gonna see this, of course, step by step, guys. That was it for the deep analysis. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. And don't forget, today we're gonna have a live stream, of course, for the special request. See you there. Bye bye.